I'm back with another When I'm Not Podcasting. Story came up, and Kayla Kibb over at InsideHook.com did put a story up, and I think she didn't want to make everybody know that originally there was a story that she had put together and didn't like going with the title originally, Why Don't Woke Straight Men Go to Strip Clubs? And then she changed it to say, I want men to enjoy strip clubs again. I do love reading your stories, Kayla. They are really fascinating, and they really give me something to go and work off of. So I really, out of love, out of fondness, I really enjoy reading your stories and getting a chance to respond to them because you give me such fodder to work with here on When I'm Not Podcasting. The Gentleman's Guide to Post-Pandemic Gentlemen's Clubbing. Before I get started on that, I did go to a strip club several weeks ago for the NFL draft. Now, very weird reason to go for an NFL draft party, but I might have said on this program that I am a rabid Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. And this is pre-Tom Brady, by the way. Going back 26 years. Now, we decided to go ahead and get together, the Bucs fans, because we had originally planned to get together to celebrate the Super Bowl victory. And we didn't get to do that. And so we waited for the draft to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this. And most of the guys, the consensus was, let's go for a guy's night out. And the guy's night out idea was, let's go get some steaks, let's get some chops, let's go get some drinks, and let's see some ass and titties. And that's what we did. Now, that's fine. Strip club, okay. Not my thing. Because as you know, if I talk on this program, when it comes to sex, why have to go ahead and pay to not get any sex? I mean, to go ahead and I never really cared for the strip club idea, so I've gone recently so I can at least say that I did. But, I don't care to go and see girls that are the eye of every other guy in there and seeing them in the same outfits and just put them on, take them off, same thing over and over, blah, 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 and just throwing dollars at them. Or seeing somebody in the room randomly have to go and start making it rain because that's the way it is. But what I also noticed in the club was not a lot of young guys. The strip clubs probably might be a passé thing, and it's not a trendy thing now because guys can just go to OnlyFans and get their own personal girl to strip for them. So why go find some professionals out there? Basically, the only young women that you'll see in a strip club are the women, or the young people you'll see in the strip club are the women because they're the ones that are dancing because they're looking to make an income, using their bodies as they can to do that. Some cases. Now, in the story, she says her post-pandemic wish for straight men is for you to embrace strip clubs. Whenever this topic of strip clubs comes up, most men that I know, even perhaps especially those of a certain category of young, well-meaning millennials and Gen Zers who consider themselves sufficiently woke male feminists, can't seem to distance themselves from the idea soon enough. They're always eager to express their indifference for strippers and their craft to talk about how they're really just not that into strip clubs. Well, that's kind of just a performative kind of thing because the guys feel like they need to go and put together a front in order to hopefully have sex with the girl they're with. So why spend money on girls they absolutely cannot have sex with or they're way too expensive to have sex with and try to go after this chase of a girl they're just kind of putting a front in front of to hopefully get closer? It's pretty stupid, if you ask me. Not the woke part, okay? I'm talking about the male feminists, the ones that are trying to say, oh, yeah, you go, girl, embracing the feminist side because you're just kind of just kissing up to her. I think that's the way it is. Now, among today's generation of young, socially conscious men, strip clubs seem to represent at best a throwback to a bygone era of sexuality, a form of entertainment enjoyed by their fathers and their fathers' fathers, but which today's class of more evolved gentlemen only approach ironically. No. There's no, new evolved gentlemen. No, bullshit. Cap on that. Here's what's going on. Much like the Gen Zers that are out there, what I realize is they're not worried about kind of playing around with girls in this way. They don't see the need to go to a strip club. That's what I'm getting from the guys, is that it's, they're putting their money towards other things. They want to be the guys that are like the rich guys that can have the house parties and be able to make it rain for the girls if they get them where they are. not go to a strip club and go through the whole crap of paying for, paying for the cover charge, paying for the entertainment value. If I went for the steaks, I had to pay for the entertainment value, a $20 fee. And then the drinks, which are way overpriced. The thing is, we used to do that because we had it, when I was growing up, the strip clubs, they didn't charge a cover. They didn't charge so much for drinks. But it was more important, you had more fun at the strip clubs because you could get much closer, you could have more interaction with the girls, you could have more of a better time. But the strip clubs today have way too many rules. The managers are way too strict, and they really don't do what it takes. And the girls won't take what it takes to really have the guys have a really good time. There's no entertainment, no particular dancing or any kind of tricks, things that would be, aforementioned of the strip club atmosphere back in the day. But they don't have that now. And the guys really just can't get that close to the girls anymore. And also with the pandemic sense, nobody wants to go there with the masks on or watch the girls wearing masks while they're doing their performances. We don't have that problem here, but it's something that guys don't have to do now. And when you're online dating, you used to go there sometimes because the guys would get together and want to go, and it would just be, there was just another way. Because now we have sports bars. Now we have other things that used to be different, where a strip club would be a bar with naked girls. But now a strip club is a much different experience, and it just costs so much. So the only people that are going there are really infatuated guys that are just really infatuated over the women and really horny and just want to be able to go in and just, it's like, live porn as it happens. But porn you can watch on the internet, and pretty easy to go online dating, find girls to go and sleep with or get together with. So it's a much different time. That's what it comes down to. Now, what does happen is there are younger women, because the younger women have realized that they can use this to their advantage. So instead of going to a nightclub where they will probably have to pay a cover charge or do other things to go ahead and get paid for drinks or get money for drinks, it'd be much of a difference. There are a lot of girls I see now, younger, that go to strip clubs because they know for the guys to get in, they're going to have to spend so much money on them, plus the girls in the dancing, plus the drinks, plus the cover charge, plus the parking, everything. So for the guy to go ahead and hook up and hang out with the girls they want to get together with, they're going to the strip clubs where they have to go around girls they want to attain around the unattainable strip clubs, the strippers up on stage. Now, Reese Piper, who has experience in the nightlife industry, has noticed it, and she says, quote, "When I tell guys that I'm in the process of retiring from stripping, the response is they don't go to strip clubs. I get what these men are trying to do, or think they're doing. They think that by rejecting strip clubs and the women who perform in them, they're being better men than their forefathers by not objectifying women. To these men, strip clubs are a tawdry, dated destination for a certain kind of uncouth brute, where no woman-respecting gentleman would be caught dead outside of a bachelor party. They'll be quite eager to remind you they intended with the most reluctance. Unfortunately, what they're actually being is whorephobic. Now, there will be an episode, if it hasn't run already, you'll learn what whorephobic is coming up on a future episode. You can respect women and enjoy strip clubs, she says. You can literally do both things at the same time. If you think that going to a strip club sullies your good woman respecting name, then I hate to break it to you, you probably don't really respect women at all, since you can't seem to bring yourself to respect strippers. Now, it's kind of different the way she puts this together, but I think that it's not really that way. Because guys appreciate sex workers, and we can appreciate strippers. But there was also a time where strippers also, if they can't make the kind of money they want performing on stage, some strippers will go to prostitution after this. So then they will offer themselves up for sex, and that's really what the guys want to get instead. Not to go through and go to the club and try to go to the champagne room under the guys, because normally strippers in other countries, they also work as prostitutes. Or the strip clubs that are out there, they also include places for, to go ahead and go into a room like a brothel and go ahead and have sex with the stripper there, because they're basically just strippers that they're working in the club as a strip club, but it's a prostitution place. It's a brothel. And that format works better in Latin countries and other places than it does in America, because America, it's just a different format. Because strip clubs, they're just trying to make as much money as they can, and there's very little entertainment value for the guys to go there. And so it's not as if we can't appreciate the women that are up there stripping, but in that format, the way that the strip clubs are being run as businesses, the guys can't have that much fun there anyway. And the guys now, if you go to a strip club, at least down here in South Florida, they're enticing them with buffets and, oh, come here to watch NFL or watch sports, to do it like that. And cut the prices down, put happy hours together, maybe put a DJ there. Used to have DJs all the time. Or they would always do things on New Year's Eve, things, whatever kind of parties, and have the DJs in to have a night, some kind of a nightclub life. That's not just the DJ up on stage, but actually like a resident DJ coming in and doing a straight set. Nothing to do with the girls. There's much more that she says about this when it comes to whorephobia. I don't want to get into that because it's just they're trying to go and say there's this whorephobia thing, which you talked about before, and I don't know. They want to put this as if these guys that are acting like male feminists are such a bad thing. By the way, whorephobia is a term used to describe the feelings of shame and self-hatred that are often experienced by sex workers. So, but again, I go through a whole explanation of this becoming a common thing on another episode. So, this particular writer also says that, which is completely wrong, strip clubs are seen as dirty places where poor women work. Even though they can be expensive and dancers can make a lot of money, it doesn't carry cultural capital. That's not true. There's a lot of girls that are well off that if they're not making the kind of money they had before because of, maybe the parents are not helping out, or they're going to school and they got student loans and they're doing it on their own, or they live very affluent. They have a particular lifestyle. They like particular things. I'm not talking about they're going after Balenciaga and Gucci bags. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that because they, just like another job, they'll go there to go ahead and make money to go and live in a nice apartment, have a nice car, have nice things, or live comfortably. And so some women can do that, and that's an advantage they can take for a certain amount of time, or to go and pay tuition through college. So it's not poor. Struggling, maybe that's a better word, but not so much poor. And in some cases, some women want to do it because they can, and they just like the idea of it. Believe it or not, I really think there's women that do feel that way. Now, Piper also says that, quote, I think men feel embarrassed about admitting they visit sex workers. Maybe they fear it signals a lack of desirability or inability to pick up a girl for free. No. Just look at the TikTok videos of women and men that are giving advice out there about nice guys. It's because this new idea of feminism that's being subscribed out there has changed things up, where guys need to be emasculated and need to be, put in their place. And that the playing field is not even anymore. That women expect so much more above and beyond for a guy to be able to go and date them. And remember, the chances of a successful relationship or a marriage have greatly diminished because of the opportunities and the advantages women can have, because men don't have the advantages. Women can have the advantage by having a child to receive child support for the child, thus supporting her. Same way it goes with alimony. Same thing goes with divorces. Same thing goes with a number of different things. But I can't go through all of it. But that's where we're at. The original point I'm making is, from what I'm looking at now, when I've dropped guys at a strip club, when I've done driving for Uber and Lyft, okay, rarely do I have only one guy, and it's usually a middle-aged guy that is being driven to the strip club. That's it. Going from a bar to a strip club. Other than that, when I've had younger people going to strip clubs, it's a group like they're going to a nightclub. So some strip clubs are more like nightclubs, and there's not that many strip clubs there is. The strip clubs down here are much bigger, larger scale. We don't have the dumpy strip clubs like this lady was talking about. They don't have those anymore. Maybe that's in other markets, but in Florida, no. The strip clubs are pretty much high scale and high price. And that's what they want. That's how it is. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll talk to you next time.